Well, we just had the ratings reveal happen and we officially got all the top 100 ratings in MLB The Show 26. And these are Diamond Dynasty ratings as well. Most of the time they just do the offline stuff, but this year they actually did the online ratings, which is very cool. So we can take a look that Judge and Ohtani are 92 overall in MLB The Show 26, with Tarek School being 91. These are the top 3 players in MLB The Show 26. Now, obviously, this is really not surprising in my opinion. Judge and Ohtani are by far the highest ranked players in the league. And obviously, they did finish last year at like 96, and I think Ohtani was like 94 at one point, but obviously they're gonna be a lot lower starting the new season. I feel like nowadays they usually try to have them between 91, 92, 93 for at least the first couple of months before they start to raise them as all the cards get better and better. Yeah, these will be the highest rated cards as well, so these are the ones that we're gonna have to get that MLB collection done when the game does come out. So those are the first 3 players. We can take a look at the next set of players, which were the 91 and 90 players, which was Bobby Witt Jr., Jose Ramirez, and Cal Raleigh. Once again, some solid players right here, especially after Cal Raleigh's crazy season he had. It's honestly nice to see him up here. Obviously, Bobby Witt Jr. and Jose Ramirez are going to be phenomenal players. So that AL Central collection is already looking pretty expensive with Screwball, Bobby Witt Jr., and Jose Ramirez. When we take a look at who's rounding out the top 10, it's going to be Juan Soto, Paul Skeens, Francisco Lindor, and Ketel Marte, which is exciting. Obviously, once again, all very good players. Nice to see Ketel Marte get up there. I know he's a big community favorite for everyone. Obviously, we got Lindor and Soto, and then obviously Paul Skeens is up there, so definitely nice to see. And then we're just gonna keep going through this. 11 to 15, we have Corey Seager, Garrett Crochet, Byron Buxton, Mason Miller, Zach Wheeler, so definitely some solid players. Once again, there aren't many players at that 90 overall, and we're gonna start to see lower and lower overalls. This is where we get to see guys like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Kyle Tucker, Yoran Alvarez, Cody Bellinger, and Aroldis Chapman. You can already start to see the teams that are gonna have multiple diamonds, or for example, the Blue Jays is one of the teams that just has 1 diamond, which is gonna be Vlad, so he's gonna be pretty expensive for that live series collection. But a team like the Dodgers, for example, is going to have multiple diamonds, as we can take a look right here with Yamamoto, Freddie Freeman, and Mookie Betts coming in at 21 through 25. We have Gunnar Henderson and Ronald Acuna Jr. also on this list. The next screen, we have Chris Sale, Blake Snell, Tatis Jr., Julio Rodriguez, and Kyle Schwarber rounding out that top 30. So now we're getting into some of the 86 and 85s. Then we have Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Brian Wu, Jacob deGrom, and Logan Gilbert. Definitely seen some nice Seattle pitchers on that list. The next screen is the top 40. We have Tyler Glasnow, Josh Hader, Nicholas Kurtz, which is exciting to see, Corbin Carroll, and Hunter Brown. So we're starting to get into some of those 85s that are just on the cusp of being a diamond. The next list at top 45, we have Will Smith, Pete Alonso Jr., Caminario, Max Fried, and Jeremy Pena. Rounding up the top 50, we have Pete Crow Armstrong, Hunter Green, who unfortunately just had like an elbow injury today, so that's not ideal, Edwin Diaz, Mike Trout, and Jacob Wilson. Obviously, Mike Trout's been getting actually lower and lower every single year, so this might be the last game he actually might be a diamond, which is kind of crazy to even think about. So those are all the diamonds in MLB The Show 26. We only have 50 live series diamonds to start the game off. Everyone else below this is going to be in the gold tier. So we have 51 through 60 right here. Obviously, a lot of these guys being gold. We can see a lot of the Cubs on this list with the Mets as well. So as we start to go down, we're going to see lower and lower overalls. The next list is the top 70. Once again, we have some pretty good players on here with George Springer, Logan Webb, Brent Rooker, Geraldo Perdomo, who I think is really underrated on this list. Guys like Matt Olson, Christian Yelich, a lot of good players, especially Perdomo. He was so good in 2025 that arguably he could have been at least in top 3, top 2 of voting in the National League. Then as we keep going down, we got some more players like Josh Naylor, obviously signed that big contract. Andy Pages is also on this list. Guys like Garrett Cole, Nick Pivetta, Shane Lanlier, Zach Neto, Eugenio Suarez obviously had a phenomenal season in 2025. Running up the top 90, we got former cover athletes with Ella De La Cruz, Jazz Chisholm, Nathan Eovaldi, Wyatt Langford, Bryce Terang obviously had phenomenal seasons in 2025. It's very weird because they're obviously trying to make the overalls, a little lower than they ended in 2025, but these guys arguably could have higher overalls, to be honest. And then rounding up the top 100, this is basically, all golds at this point, with Riley Green, Austin Riley, Carlos Rodon, Giancarlo Stanton, Vinny Pasquantino, and Andre Morajon rounding out that top 100. So very interesting to see kind of the top players we have in Diamond Dynasty. And they did have some notable players outside the top 100 with the Diamond Dynasty rings. They obviously got my boy Hunter Goodman on this list. Honestly, a phenomenal player. He's coming in at 80 overall, so definitely exciting to see how he's going to do. Obviously, Obviously had an incredible season last year, and if you guys are new to the channel, big fan of Hunter Goodman. Watch him basically through the whole Rockies organization. A lot of Marlins on this list as well, with the same with the Cardinals, and then Colton Montgomery comes in at 77. Obviously had a pretty good rookie campaign in 2025, so excited to see what he can do in 2026. But those are just some notable players outside that top 100. But you can already start to see some of the collections that we're gonna have to collect, especially with the Dodgers one. They've been talking about that one for a while, with how many diamonds they're gonna have in that collection. So after doing the list, they're gonna have 9 diamonds to start in MLB The Show 26, which is literally just insane. We can kind of go through them real quick. This is obviously gonna be the most expensive collection in Diamond Dynasty for sure. So we have Edwin Diaz at an 85 overall right here. Then Will Smith is gonna come in at 85 as well as the second diamond. The third diamond is gonna be Tyler Glasnow at 86. The fourth diamond is gonna be Blake Snell right here at 87. The fifth, sixth, and seventh diamonds are gonna be Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Yoshibo Yamamoto. The eighth diamond is obviously gonna be Kyle Tucker. And then the ninth diamond is obviously gonna be Shohei Ohtani. So it's gonna be a super expensive collection. That's gonna be the first one I'm gonna go for. But with that being said, those are all the top 100 ratings and all the diamonds that we're seeing. Only 50 diamonds with a ton of golds, obviously, as you guys can tell going through the list. But yeah, gonna be a lot of fun. This game comes out so soon, so I'm just very excited to get into the game and hop on stream and just have a great time. If you guys are new to the channel, we're gonna be streaming this game a ton when it comes out, so if you guys want to stay tuned for those, you guys can like, comment, and subscribe. With that being said, make sure you guys follow me on all my socials. You guys can follow me on my X for all of our updates. We're tweeting everything about the World Baseball Classic and MLB The Show 26 news. You guys can follow me on Instagram for all of our clips. If you guys want to talk to me or the rest of the community, make sure you guys join the Discord down below in the description. And if you guys want to support the channel more, you guys can check out the YouTube memberships if you want to support me over there. Or if you want to support me, you could definitely check out the merch. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.